Welcome back to Mimi's Home and Garden. This is part 2 of preserving your food, and today I'm going to show you how to dry herbs. You see those all the time now in the garden shops and even at Walmart, racks and racks of herbs. Pick up some and stick them out in the yard and grow your own. It is so much cheaper to grow your own herbs and to dry them than to buy those little tiny containers at the grocery store. Today I needed to process my dill. It's gotten really tall and it's starting to flower, so I want to go ahead and cut that and dry those herbs. So I'm out in my garden and I'm getting ready to cut all the dill down. And I also have some other herbs over in my spiral garden that have really filled out, and I need to go ahead and cut some of those back. You don't want your herbs to get to the flowering state, then they're a little bit too strong. So I have 3 or 4 bunches of dill I'm getting ready to cut. And over in the spiral herb garden I have parsley, I have oregano that needs to be cut. This is getting too big, so I'm going to need to trim back this oregano. I've got basil that needs to be cut, some onion chives. I have thyme that's not quite ready, but my parsley is ready. It needs to be trimmed back. And when you trim, they'll come right back. You don't have to worry about losing your plants. So this morning I was able to gather a nice dish pan full of herbs, and I'm getting ready to show you how I dry my herbs in a dehydrator. First step is to get those herbs washed and cleaned, and I use my salad spinner to do that. I section off each group of herbs and then I give them a good wash, and then I'm going to let the water out of the salad spinner and then spin them again till they're nice and dry, or most of the water has come off of them. Give it a good shake, pour out that dirty water, and then spin it again. After I have spun the herbs, I place them on my dehydrator trays and I dab them with a paper towel to get out any extra moisture. And here I've lined my 9-tray Excalibur dehydrated with all the herbs that I picked today: oregano, parsley, dill, and basil. Everything but the basil will probably dry in about 2 to 3 hours. The basil takes longer. Now here is the dill after 2 hours. It's nice and crisp or crunchy, and that's what you want. You don't want it soft. There is the oregano, and it's nice and crunchy. The basil took longer, so I left it in the dehydrator. Here I am just pulling the dill off of the stems. You don't want to keep the stems. I'm just sliding it off with my fingers. It's nice and dry. You can use gloves. My hands are clean and very dry, but if you want to use plastic gloves to keep any moisture from getting on your herbs, that's a good idea. I just rubbed it between my fingers and pulled out the stems. Kind of gave them a nice sift and then right into the jar. Now this is my second batch of dill, and I've already filled this small pint-sized jar. I'm going to have to go bigger. Here you can see the basil is just not crunchy. It's very limp. It just takes a long time for basil to dry. So I'm putting it back in there, and I'm getting ready to start on the parsley. Same technique where I just pull the parsley limbs off of the stems, crunch them up in my hands, and then pour them in a jar. Very easy. This jar of herbs runs you about $3 to $5 at the store, and see how small they are? And these are my herbs. Nice full jars. This is only the second time I've picked them. So you get such a nice supply for all winter. I will use these herbs now, and then ones in the future I will put an oxygen absorber in each jar. These were the onion chives, and I didn't really have enough to dehydrate, so I said I'm going to fix me some breakfast. So I did a little scrambled egg bake, 2 scrambled eggs, salt and pepper, about a tablespoon of the onion chives. I did put a tablespoon of sour cream in there, tablespoon of bacon bits. And you really want to beat your egg good. This is going to be a scrambled egg breakfast. It's easy, it's quick, and it's a good way to use up some herbs. There's my tablespoon of onion chives. There goes the bacon. And I took 1 tablespoon of butter and melted it in my saucepan. I only use real butter, I don't use artificial. And giving the eggs one more good whisk before I pour it into the pan. I got it on about medium heat. Again, that's 2 eggs, a tablespoon of sour cream. I did put in a tablespoon of water, a tablespoon of bacon bits, a tablespoon of onion chives. Then I'll add the cheese later on top. So basically it's just scrambled eggs. I kind of let mine set for a few minutes and then I'll fold them over. On medium heat, you just cook your scrambled eggs until they're done. Then I put the cheese on top, laid a piece of toast on the plate, and then topped it with the scrambled eggs. That was so delicious and easy. Thanks for joining me on part 2 of drying herbs. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time for more preserving your food. Thanks.